Ladies and gentlemen, it's David Hall here, Chief Executive and Founder of the Idea Centre, and here to introduce an innovation all of our own, outlining our plans to deliver online creativity facilitated by myself for each and every one of our member organisations, actively developing skills in-house as part of the mentoring process that will inevitably follow, and assisting with the embedding of that innovation process within the organisation. I need first to introduce a number of key terms that I'm going to be using as I describe the process. The first of those is a sponsor. The intention is to have a number of innovation themes, and there is a requirement to have a member of the senior management team accountable to that team for supporting and driving that particular innovation theme forward. The sponsor may in turn have a number of problem owners taking responsibility or accountability for sub-elements of delivering that particular initiative, and those problem owners will draw upon the support from a number of individuals across the organisation that have volunteered their services to deliver and support the creativity process that in turn will drive innovation, and we tend to call those individuals the Creativity Club. There is then a small pool of individuals who will be acting as the in-house facilitators, effectively a subset from within the Creativity Club, and it's those individuals that will be taking turn in attending the Idea Centre sessions and then coming back and teaching their fellow facilitators what they've learned. It's particularly important from an Idea Centre perspective that we also have a creativity lead, someone who can be the main point of contact in driving the online facility forward. Now let me explain the online process. We start by establishing the strategic themes for the organisation when it comes to innovation, and we need to allocate a senior sponsor for each of those. And it's inevitably going to be the senior management team that are going to be responsible for identifying what those innovation themes might be. You don't need many innovation themes active within an organisation at any one time, so you want to make sure that those that are selected are going to be genuinely driving the transformation that's required across the organisation. Now, once the innovation themes have been identified and the sponsors allocated for each of those, a process is required to break down those themes into a number of sub-problems, and each one of those sub-problems will have associated with it a problem owner. This is a process that can be delivered via a nominated in-house facilitator being mentored by the Idea Centre directly in support, so we can make sure that the problem definitions collectively add up to that particular theme. This process of breaking down the themes into sub-problems is something that can be conducted by the in-house facilitator group. There are a number of scoping techniques that we use for that, and we can support that via the online facility. Each one of those problems needs then to be converted into a challenge, and effectively this is the first divergent-convergent process within the creative problem-solving cycle. We're effectively taking the problem as defined and supercharging that into a challenge that is explicitly above the mental blocks that otherwise trap you in conventional and traditional thinking, to make sure that the ideation process then genuinely delivers transformation. This is a process that we can facilitate online, managing it directly via the Idea Centre, liaising with whoever the in-house facilitator is that's been nominated to that particular problem, and also sweeping in the involvement of the problem owner. Once we have the challenge defined, we're then able to use the online process to bring in a number of in-house participants, drawing potentially from the in-house facilitator team, but or volunteers from the wider Creativity Club. This is a process that we can manage directly via the Idea Centre, making sure that momentum is developed through the problem-solving process, working with the individuals, refining it over a period of time. Rather than the ideation process being contained within the normal 60 minutes, we would say that the maximum for this idea generation process will be 2 weeks, but spread out incrementally over that 2-week period. Once we have the novel and useful, a creative idea emerging from the ideation process, then we're able to support the incubation of that idea into a seed idea, making it more robust, something that can be shared with a wider community. And again, we can play an active facilitation role in that. A number of seed ideas might be generated using a range of different techniques on the same problem, or indeed a particular ideation process might generate a number of seed ideas. For example, superheroes might generate one idea per superhero. Once we have ideas, there's an in-house process required to screen those ideas and to generate the lead ideas from that pool. Those lead ideas can then be further incubated into a position where they can be piloted, which will then allow the organisation to test and refine the implementation to then drive into full-blown innovation. It's a neat system. It can all be managed online. It can be delivered in the short term through Microsoft Teams. Again, that is a facility that we're able to offer directly via the Idea Centre. Should be fun.